Everybody at the Chimera Ant King's palace is screwed. Find out why in my review of Hunter x Hunter, episode 128. This week's episode featured the return of the king. There's a Lord of the Rings joke in there somewhere, but I'm going to take the high road and just say that this week's episode of Hunter x Hunter was pretty good. It was really entertaining. Not too much happened, but what did happen was really entertaining, and frankly, I was sort of entranced by the entire episode. And a lot of that had to do with the incredible art direction we saw this week, especially from the first half of the episode, which featured a lot of really awesome metaphorical imagery, and it also saw the return of Meruem, the Chimera Ant King. And his return might seem like something of a cop-out because these characters have never had the ability to sort of disperse their cellular structure and heal people before, but I'm willing to accept it for how crazy it was this week. And what was also really funny about this one is there was this scene where Poof and Youpi were healing the king, and if you thought the scenes in the first half of Hunter x Hunter with Hisoka having an orgasm over Gon punching him in the face was freaky, these two just managed to up the ante even more, and they give us a very ridiculous scene. And it all opens up when they find the body of Meruem, which is just frankly destroyed. It's like a mummified Buddha corpse. This is when Poof and Youpi decide to give up their bodies, and they seem to be having a little bit of a contest with each other. It's really funny, especially Poof, because he lets all of his clones just sort of disperse, and they go inside of the Chimera Ant King, and you see it starting to work as all of the energy is flowing through his body, and then it finally starts to disperse, and he turns into this like golden figure with like almost flowing hair, and it's probably the most human form of the Chimera Ant King that they've shown so far. It's very strange that he has to become more human before he can become his full Chimera Ant King form itself. But as it's going on, you see it starts to become more multicolored as they both start to give up their body structures. Youpi does it in a weird way where he's able to literally liquefy his cells, and it's really freaky because the Chimera Ant King is mentioning that this is like the most amazing thing that he's ever had in his life. If he's ever going to eat anything again, it's going to be this. And both Poof and Youpi just completely get off on this, and there's a scene where they're practically in heaven, and they're just overjoyed by the praise here. So, Chimera Ant King's back. It's pretty awesome, but he's even more dangerous now because he has short-term memory loss, and he can't remember certain events, and because of that, he's more like he was in the beginning of the series, where he was more just like a cold, ruthless killer, ready to rule the world with his crazy Chimera Ant powers. What I do think is funny is that Youpi has actually changed in size, and he's now like a little chibi version of himself. He looks absolutely hilarious. He has a little helmet on. He looks like a freaking Mario Brothers enemy. What's really crazy about the last bit of the episode is that the Chimera Ant King is going to try and get to the palace so he can try and regain his memories. But Poof does not want this to happen because he doesn't want him to run into Komugi and start to become more human again. So his other clone is rushing to the castle to try and kill Komugi, and he runs into the room and she's gone. And then Knuckle comes in and punches that bastard right in the back, and boy does it feel good. He hits him with his special ability, and because of that, the Chimera Ant King can actually notice this thing popping up around Poof. And what's really cool here is because the Chimera Ant King was able to absorb the abilities of both Poof and Youpi, he can actually use some of those, and he actually sprouts wings just like Youpi, and he immediately starts to learn how to fly by just flying in circles really crazy, and it just blows them away. They're amazed by this, so I can't wait to see what other cool new abilities he's going to have. But because of this, he is able to rush to the castle immediately, and everybody starts to take notice of this because of Palm's special abilities when she sees Poof. And that's the end of the episode, and it was awesome. It might be a little slow-paced for some because, frankly, like I said, not a lot happened. But what was there this week was awesome, especially in the first half of the episode. Like I said, all the animation and the artwork there was really good. All the uses of imagery and everything was good. Sometimes it was really funny. The scene where Meruem was recounting about how delicious this brand new food he was having, and he imagined like all these chubby little cherub-looking angels just pouring their tears into the ground. It's hilarious looking, and it's a complete juxtaposition to what like the Chimera Ant King is like when he comes out. He's just a cold, ruthless killer, and he's not going to give anybody any other second chances. He almost kills Poof in this episode too. With his brand new abilities and his memory loss, he is going to be an incredible threat, and I don't know how they're going to take him on. And what's more interesting about this episode is there was not a single sign of Gon and Pito. I cannot imagine what they're going to do with that because everything that's going on right here is so damned exciting. I liked this week's episode a lot. I think they could have maybe included a few more scenes and maybe cut some of the scenes down a little bit. But for what was there, it was all really nice looking. All of the colors were good. All of the voice acting was really good, especially from Poof. Yuppie transforming into his little form is absolutely hilarious. Meruem's brand new powers are awesome. The rundown this week is simple. This was a great episode. It was just a little slow. Simple as that. I wish a little more could have happened. But otherwise, I am incredibly satisfied with everything about this episode. So I'm going to drop a 9 out of 10 on this bad boy. I think you guys need to check it out. If you guys had a chance to check out this week's episode of Hunter x Hunter, I would love to hear your thoughts about it. And you can tell me with your comments below. Do you have any predictions for the upcoming battles with the Chimera Ant King? And what do you want to see from Pito and Gon? Remember guys, before you leave, make sure and give this video a thumbs up, hit the like button, it really helps out a lot, and if you subscribe to our channel, you'll be able to see all of our latest anime and manga reviews. You can also check us out on that social media stuff, Facebook, Twitter, we're all over that. Remember guys, you can also donate to the channel if you'd like as well. So, I will see you next time guys. Super Kami Guru 9000, out.